Welcome to Fullerton College Volleyball on Hornet Radio. We are live at the Hornets Nest as the Hornets take on the Saddleback Bobcats. I am Ari Nakshon here with Caleb Ramos. You want to give some insight for this matchup?
Yeah, the Saddleback Bobcats have a 5-3 record with coming off a five-set win against Golden West. They also won the conference last year, making it to the second round of the playoffs. Fullerton College has a record of 2-6, coming off a 3-set loss against Riverside College. A couple of key players I'd say to watch for both teams. I'd say for Saddleback, Corey Wilcoxon and Meg Gardner, as they have both triple-digit kills with 113 and 108 respectively. For Fullerton College, I'd say watch for Izzy Hernandez, the setter, as she is the command center of the offense, keeping everything in control, and Bree Stoutmore, who has 92 out of the Fullerton College Hornets' 209 total kills. Almost 50% of their total kills go to Bree Stoutmore.
So the starting lineup for the Bobcats tonight will be Bryn Craig-Crom, Sophie Vienna, Lulu Utterback, Meg Gardner, Delaney Wilson, Corey Wilcoxon, and Maggie Trujillo. For Fullerton, it'll be Amelia Flores, Angelina Alvarado, Emma Arell, Jessica Timmons, Izzy Hernandez, Bree Stoutmore, and Michaela Schnockenberg. So we got a couple players who won't be playing today, especially for that Fullerton team. They're going to have 3 players out, while Saddleback only has 1. How do you think that that will affect the game?
I think that Fullerton College needs to try to keep their stamina as much as possible, especially having only one person on the bench able to play besides the libero. Stamina is going to be a huge factor in today's game.
And you had mentioned how Bree Stoutmore has half of their kills for this season. Do you think that the other players need to be more efficient with the chances they get?
I would think so. They need to be a bit more efficient, as does Bree Stoutmore herself, having 92 kills but also 85 errors. She needs to hope that she is able to get all of her errors in check if Fullerton College wants to win this game.
All right, and now we have Saddleback getting ready, getting their lineup announced to the ref, along with Fullerton, who had just done theirs. The referees for tonight's matchup will be Mai Tufuga, Amand Ferreira, Jewel Herrera, and Jalen Fierro. Saddleback with the first serve. Emma Arell with the first kill attempt. Oh, and it's saved by Izzy Hernandez after the blocks. Bree Stoutmore with the kill attempt. It's on the line, out. And that'll be a point for Saddleback as they open up this game.
That was good coverage on the block. It looked like Saddleback would have got there a tiny bit late, but Fullerton College able to get it up.
Yeah, great blocking from Schnockenberg. And there's an error from Emma Arell. She isn't able to get that ball back up, and that's another point for Saddleback.
It looked like she was a little bit late to getting to the ball. Glanced off her hands at the wrong angle.
Meg Gardner serving. Gets it pretty deep. Hernandez gets it up. Stoutmore gets it just to Arell, who's able to just tip it right over the net. And it's blocked by Hernandez. Now it's set. And that's going to be in for Lulu Utterback point, and another for Saddleback.
I have a feeling that she's going to be a big problem for Fullerton College, being 6 feet tall. Obviously, being tall gives you an advantage in volleyball, but she is able to jump as well, as we just saw.
Once again, Gardner with the serve. Hits it deep to that left side. Stoutmore hits it over. Seems to, there you go, a little bit of trickery there from Gardner. Hernandez sets it. Stoutmore with the kill attempt. And she gets it in for the first Fullerton point of the night.
That was a great serving run by Meg Gardner. Great job by Fullerton to be able to stop it, get their first points on the board.
They looked a little bit more cohesive, a little bit more in control of that point.
There also seemed to be some miscommunication there as well, so we need to clean that up a bit.
Hernandez with a deep serve, and it goes right to the hands of Bryn Craig Crom, and she can't get it past, and that's another point for Fullerton.
That was a beautiful serve. Bryn couldn't get her hands there in time. Ace.
Yeah, that'll be the first ace of the night. Second. Hernandez with the serve once again. Craig Crom decides not to go for that one, and she's right, and that's another point for Saddleback, 4-2.
That one looked extremely close to being on the line, just a little bit too much there from Hernandez.
It looks like Bryn Craig Crom serving once again. It's a little shorter, right under Aurel. She's able to get it up, and she goes for the kill, but no good. Little bit of miscommunication there, and it's just on the line for a point for Lulu Utterback.
That looked like just a incorrect judgment there. It's very hard to tell whether the ball's going in or out, and she thought wrong on that one. It was very close.
Saddleback 5, Fullerton 2. Craig Crom with the ball once again. It's a little deeper this time, and Aurel is able to receive it better. Alvarado hit, but it's blocked. That's a strong hit there, but it's kept up from Fullerton. Alvarado once again. Hernandez sets it to her once again. This time just out. Saddleback gets a point.
That looked very, very close. Good heads-up play by Alvarado to try and tip it to where nobody was there. Just couldn't get it in the right spot.
Yeah, just a bit wide as Craig Crom serves it again. And she got it right into no man's land. No one can get to it. We saw a little attempt there from Amelia Flores, but she just couldn't get to the ball in time.
That was a beautiful serve. Dropping it just over the net.
Yeah, enough finesse to get the score to 7-2. Aurel gets it, and Hernandez fakes a set. That one's out for a Fullerton point.
There's a quick attempt there from Delaney Wilson, who just pushes it a tiny bit too much, and that ended up as a point for Fullerton.
Aurel with the serve, deep into the back. Kill attempt there from Utterback, but it's blocked inside for a Fullerton point.
That looked like a jump topspin from Aurel there. You don't see that much in women's volleyball. It was a great serve.
Now she'll be serving once again. Very strong serve from Aurel. Now Utterback hits it over. And Hernandez knew that that one wasn't going in, and that's another Fullerton point as they cut the lead down just to 2.
That's 2 straight attempts from Lulu Utterback, as she cannot get a point right now. She must be frustrated.
Scores 7-5. And Aurel hits it really, really far. Not in.
That looked like a bad serve toss. Just ran too far under it, got behind it. Looked like it might have hit her forearm also. Not going to get much control when that happens.
Scores 8-5. Saddleback with the lead. This time we'll see a different person serving the ball for them, though. It'll be Utterback. Low toss, but a great serve. Norel hits it powerfully back to her.
Excuse me.
This time Izzy Hernandez sets it for Stottmore. As it's been all season, she goes for a little trickery and another point for Fullerton.
It's a great spot. There was nobody there. Looked like Saddleback couldn't decide who was supposed to go for the ball. They just watched it drop. Great point by Stottmore.
Oh, and now Schnockenberg came out, and Jessica Timmons is in. That'll be Sophie Vienna who sets it. And that's a great point right there from Delaney Wilson. And we just see there, Amelia Flores not able to get to the ball.
It was the block touch, I think. Having the change of direction off of the block messed her up a little bit, changed the trajectory of the ball. She wasn't able to get there.
That's Corey Wilcoxon with the serve. right to Amelia Flores. She just couldn't get that one up, and now the score is 10-6.
Yeah, she just wasn't able to get it high enough. Nobody was close enough to be able to get that low of a receive. Point to Saddleback.
Wilcoxon with the serve. Right to Orel. Hernandez sets it backwards this time for Alvarado.
Just out.
Yeah, and that'll be another point for Saddleback as they take a 5-point lead.
That Hernandez to Alvarado connection usually is pretty good. They're the only two returners from last year, so they have chemistry with each other. Just wasn't able to get it on that one.
Little bit of miscommunication there from Fullerton, but Stottmore is able to get it over. That'll be a point for Saddleback off a great kill from Meg Gardner.
Meg Gardner adding to her lead of 113, now 114 kills. That was also a great attempt by Stottmore, having an offset, being able to get it over with as much power and finesse as she did. It was beautiful.
Yeah, she got it right into that corner, and that leads us into a timeout taken by Fullerton. It's the first set. Saddleback is up 12-6. You are watching Fullerton College Volleyball on Hornet Radio.
I think that Saddleback, being conference winners last year, making it to the second round of playoffs as well, they just have a lot more experience when it comes to playing against this Fullerton team.
They're also a little bit more consistent, as we're seeing. Fullerton is on the streakier side, where they'll have a couple good rallies and get those good points, or it'll just be where they hit it out 3 times in a row, and it really gives an advantage to Saddleback there.
Consistency is key, especially when it comes to volleyball, when points are decided that quickly, and even just a small mistake on 2 to 3 straight plays gives you a score like we have of being down 6-12.
And we are back from this timeout taken by Fullerton. It's still the first set. Score is still 12-6. Saddleback will be serving, and with the ball is Corey Wilcoxon. We have new lineups for Saddleback. It'll be Wilcoxon setting, and we'll have Utterbeck and Vienna, Gardner, along with Craig Crum, and finally that'll be Wilson in the middle. For Fullerton, the lineup is Stottmore, Timmons, Hernandez, Alvarado, Orel, and Flores. And the last point was scored there from Saddleback, and there you go. They just added another one to the lead as the score is now 14-6.
That was a beautiful quick, just right over the block. Orel wasn't able to get her hands out in time. Point.
Now we'll have Wilcoxon, who's been serving the higher toss and a much lower hit. Stottmore with the attempt. Isn't able to get it though. This time it'll be a little weak and Hernandez could barely get to it, but Orel saves it. Stottmore hits it over and it's gonna be out for another Saddleback point.
Izzy Hernandez just reflex got her hands up trying to save the ball. Looks like a bit of frustration on her end that she wasn't able to get it up cleanly. It was a good save by Orel, just couldn't get it over properly.
And there you go, Wilcoxon with her first error. That'll be a serve right into the net.
It looked like she was trying to drop it close. Maybe she thought she saw a gap close to the net, just not enough power.
And Fullerton gets a ball back, which means Alvarado will get a chance to serve here. Her first of the night. And she's gonna follow it up with an error of her own and serve it also into the net.
You can't be, once you get a break like missing a serve, you can't follow it up by missing a serve right back. You need that momentum, and it just seems like Saddleback has all of it right now.
Yeah, they should be capitalizing off of any mistakes that they can grab, but just aren't able to. A new server for Saddleback would be Sarah Tajik, but she serves it into the net, and that is 3 in a row that we've seen.
And Tajik goes right back out after that.
Yep, and Craig Crom comes in for her. Now they're giving Stottmore a chance, Fullerton. And she's finally able to get it over. Oh, and Aurel tries to save the ball as it comes right to the broadcast booth. And that's a point for Saddleback.
That was a great cut shot there. Just usually you think when someone hits it with that kind of power it's going to go deep, but didn't, dropped short. Beautiful hit.
Timmons with the hit. And a point for Fullerton. Delaney Wilson just not able to keep that one in.
That was a good back quick from Timmons there. Great set by Hernandez as well. Timmons was able to get up there, get it past the block, and once it got past the block, there wasn't anything they could do.
Vienna sets it. Looks like it's going to be a point for Saddleback.
It was just a great tip. Nobody was covering. Looked like almost a bit of a collision there from Fullerton, but not able to get it up, and it's Saddleback's turn to serve once again.
Yeah, Gardner with the ball. A little bit of a higher toss. A good serve into no man's land as Flores isn't able to get it, and that's another point as Saddleback is now up 10.
That is a huge deficit. I'm not sure how the Hornets are going to be able to come back from this. Maybe they go on a serving run, but right now it's not looking too good.
Gardner with the same form as the last one, but gets it a little further this time, which gives Fullerton more of a chance. Go. Aurel is able to keep it in. Hernandez sets it off the block. Stottmore hits it over, very deep to Gardner. Stottmore saves it from a Trujillo hit. Aurel gets it right to Craig Crom, and she isn't able to save it on the block, and that's a Fullerton point.
That was an amazing rally by both sides just to end on a monster block by Schnackenberg and Hernandez.
Yeah, they really stole that point right there, and there wasn't much that Saddleback could have done about it.
No, that was just an amazing block, almost straight down.
Fullerton get their score up to double digits as it's now 10-19. And that's off Flores for a Saddleback point.
It was a great quick there. It looked like Flores couldn't decide whether it was going in or out. It looked like she went for it, tried to pull it back at the last second, couldn't quite get it back. Back to a 10-point deficit here.
And Bryn Craig Crom will be serving for Saddleback. We saw her a little bit earlier. They've been rotating a lot. Keep those arms fresh. Aurel hits it, gets it right into that corner for a Fullerton point.
That was beautiful. Saddleback did not close the block quite enough. Aurel puts it right in between where there are no hands to the back corner where there's nobody covering. Just a beautiful hit all around.
And there's a substitution for Fullerton as Timmons comes off, and we'll finally get to see some action for Brianna Mendez, who serves it. And it's tipped over by Schnackenberg, who gets the point. Quick point for Fullerton.
It just looked like a messed up receive, put it a little bit too close to the net, and Schnackenberg just tips it right back over. Nothing much Saddleback could do.
Mendez with the ball once more. Powerful hit, no jump, little too far. That's another point for Saddleback as they take that 9-point lead back.
Looked like Gardner almost went for it, pulled back at the last second. She was able to get it back this time, and ball just sails right out.
Utterback with the ball. She'll be serving for Saddleback. And Mendez isn't able to keep that one in. And the deficit is 10 once again.
Saddleback is only 3 points away from taking this set. I don't see a way the Hornets come back in this set. Hopefully they can shake it off, get into a better state for the second set.
Utterback with the ball once more. Takes her time with it. Slots it into that left-hand side, right where Mendez is. Dodges the ball, but it was going to be a point for Stottmore either way.
That was actually a point for Saddleback. The ball hit the antenna, which classifies as an automatic out, and a point for Saddleback. I didn't quite see the antenna hit, but refs called it.
Good eye from the ref there. Utterback with the ball once more. She's able to get it to Mendez, who can't get it up, and now Saddleback's 1 point away from taking this first set.
Mendez just couldn't quite get there in time, just glanced off her hands instead of her forearms like you would prefer, and just straight into the net.
Utterback once more to seal the deal. And she gets it barely over the net, and that's the first set there.
That is one of the worst things you can have happen in volleyball, is a serve that just barely tips over the net because you're backing up expecting it to be powerful. Hits the net, drops, absolutely no chance there to get it up by Fullerton.
And Saddleback is now up 1-0. The final score for that set was 25-12. And this is Fullerton College Volleyball on Hornet Radio.
Hornet Radio is a 24-hour online radio station streaming music, podcasts, live coverage of Fullerton College sports events, and other news, sports, and culture content. This station is managed by radio/journalism department staff, and it features content produced by both students and professional staff. Originally a low-power FM station, Hornet Radio 90.1 KBPK was a Class D non-com FM radio station broadcasting from Buena Park, California from 1972 to 2023. The station was owned by the Buena Park School District. It was operated by the Fullerton College Media Studies Department and primarily aired adult contemporary format as well as various educational programs, sports events, and PSAs. Operations moved fully online when the Buena Park School District surrendered its FCC license on August 9, 2023. Past supervisors of KBPK and or radio facility include Peg Berger, Ed Ford, Ed Berger, Diana Kelly, Jim Bain, Daryl Kitchell, Paul Kelly, Don DuPoy, Jack Townsend, and Dick Thompson. To get involved, enroll in CRTV 129, 135, or 145. Follow at KBBK Radio on Instagram, Facebook, and X. We have the Hornets and Bobcats getting ready for the second set. The final score of the first set was 25-12 Saddleback. Hopefully the Hornets can get a good set of momentum going in the second set already and make it fast, as it seems like Saddleback has all of the momentum right now. For the starting lineups here, we have for the Saddleback Bobcats, Megan Trujillo, middle blocker, Corey Wilkinson, outside, Meg Gardner, outside, Delaney Wilson, also outside, Sophia Viena, the setter, Bryn Craig Crom, the libero, and Lulu Utterback, also an outside/opposite hitter. We are waiting on Fullerton College to get their lineup set, get a little bit of rest, as they only have 8 players today. Stamina is going to be a huge factor, as we said in the beginning. At the start of the second set, refs are getting the lineup set for both Saddleback and Fullerton, as we have Izzy Hernandez ready to serve for Fullerton College. Amelia Flores coming in for Jessica Timmons as a libero switch.
I think a big key for the second set for the Hornets is to limit the errors. I know we had that one set where it was just that one string of 3 errors in a row. Just to limit that would be huge for them.
That was a great serve there by Hernandez, who was able to get an ace off of Corey Wilcoxon. Hernandez back to serve once again.
Just what the Hornets need coming into the second set. An early lead.
And Hernandez aces the libero. It was a great serve. Bryn Craig Crom just jumps, gets little bit off and sends it into the back wall. Hernandez to serve once again. Good receive. Quick attempt. Barely gets it over. Flores sets it back to Stoutmore. Stoutmore with a powerful hit. Received by Flores. Hernandez out to Orel. And Orel hits it out. Little bit of an error there. Just got under the ball. Wasn't able to get it enough. Wasn't able to get it down enough. Point to Saddleback. And that ends Izzy Hernandez serving run. Meg Gardner to serve. Received by Orel. Hernandez to Schnockenberg, blocked. Orel back to Stoutmore, who sends a free ball over. That was a good hit, good receive by Orel. Stoutmore once again sends another free ball over. Great rally happening right now. Powerful block, received. Alvarado gets a net in. Schnockenberg tips it over. Back to just not able to get it enough. And that is a point to Saddleback.
That was a really great rally there on both sides, keeping it very entertaining and just a lot of really good volleyball there.
It was great receives, great hits all around. Back to serve once again is Gardner. Received. And that is just a massive hit there from Utterback.
Lulu Utterback, she's insane. She's 6 foot, sophomore from Trabuco Hills. She's a big force. She had 26.5 points last game, so she's a big part of their offense.
The receive was just a bit off, and Utterbeck was able to slam it into the court. Gardner to serve once more. Received by Stoutmore. Hernandez. Stoutmore with the kill attempt. Out. Just little too much power on that one. The score is 4-2 for Saddleback. In the second set, Saddleback leads the sets 1-0. Gardner serving once again. Received by Orel. Hernandez out to Alvarado, who is blocked. And they tried a setter dump. That was Sophia Vienna trying to get the ball over, and the ball just looked like it slipped. Point to Fullerton College.
Maybe it was just a little bit of miscommunication there. Both Vienna and Utterback, they didn't know who was going to get the ball there.
Orel with the jump serve. Hits it off the side of her wrist, it looks like. Service error for Orel. We have Craig Crom, the libero, back to serve for Saddleback.
Saddleback always looks to capitalize on those Fullerton errors.
Good float serve received by Orel. Out to Stoutmore, a little bit of a fast set. Powerful hit there by Corey Wilcoxon. Slammed into the court, nothing Fullerton could do once it got past the block.
That was really powerful, and there was nothing Fullerton could do about that.
Block didn't quite fully close, and she hit the spot and hit it very well. Craig Crom back to serve once again. Received by Orel, a little bit off. Back to Alvarado, tries to tip it over, messes it up, keeps it on her side. Point to Saddleback.
You're still seeing a lot of the same errors from Fullerton, and Saddleback, as great as a team they are, they love to capitalize on those.
This is a timeout taken by Fullerton College. This is the second set. Score is 7-3. Saddleback Bobcats are winning over the Fullerton College Hornets, and they also took the first set as well. There just seemed to be a lot of simple mistakes on the side of Fullerton, not able to quite get the points that they need and the momentum that they need. Fullerton College's head coach, Kevin Hitt, has a lot of experience when it comes to coaching volleyball. Who's an assistant for Cal State Fullerton for a couple of years and has 11 CIF playoff appearances as a high school head coach. And the head coach for Saddleback also has a lot of experience. He's been with the program since 2015 and took them to a conference win with an 18-6 record last year, and has taken a couple of high school teams to a D1 playoff berth as well.
Brian Hughes played at IVC when he was.
That is a monster hit by Delaney Wilson. Receive was just a bit off, and she was able to get it up and over. 8-3.
6'1" Delaney Wilson, very powerful.
Craig Crom serving once again. So float, received by Arel, over and out. Seems like Fullerton cannot get a serve receive right now.
Saddleback making a lot of smart plays, letting those balls drop and not like Fullerton would just hit those and set them.
Craig Crom drops a ball, received by Flores, out to Stopmore, blocked. Monster block there by Lulu Utterbeck and Delaney Wilson.
Utterbeck just keeps on putting her stamp all over this game.
That was a total shutdown of Stopmore there. Craig Crom back to serve once again. Drops it short again. Flores with the receive. Out to Schnockenberg. Back to Utterbeck, who is blocked. And that is a free ball over. Quick attack by Wilson is good. And Fullerton College just cannot seem to catch a break. Saddleback running away with this one, 11-3.
Saddleback's on a nice little streak right here. Seems like Fullerton hasn't scored in a while.
Craig Crom serving. Received by Arel. Good receive. Setter dump by Hernandez. Beautiful spot, beautiful time to do it as well. No one was expecting it, and that is a point to Fullerton College, finally stopping the serving run of Craig Crom.
That's that Izzy Hernandez fake set. Dumps it right in between the Saddleback.
Flores misses her serve, just barely out. And just as they get a point, they give it right back. Utterbeck back to serve.
Utterbeck's all over this game.
Received by Alvarado, gets it high. Set back to Arel, received. It looked like a miscommunication there between Wilson and Sophia Vienna. It looked like they were trying, it looked like one of them thought they were going to run a quick, one of them thought they were going to run a slide attack, just set to where nobody is. Alvarado serving for Fullerton College.
Brian Hughes going over to Delaney Wilson just to make sure that, just to focus, keep her head up.
And Will Coxon tries to get the ball over on somewhat of a messy set and doesn't quite get it. Point Fullerton College. They're on a little bit of a run here, bringing it back to 6-point deficit here. Alvarado serving once again. Received, not as a setter dump by Vienna, taking a page out of Hernandez's book, and point to Saddleback.
Showing off that she can do it too.
It's a great spot, good power on it too. That was more of a power one than a deception. Corey Wilcoxon serving. Powerful serve received by Arel. Timmons has to set it. Stop, more powerful hit. Quick attack to Wilson. Powerful, quick, right into an empty spot.
Delaney Wilson and Lulu Utterbeck just all over this game. They can't seem to stop them.
Timeout taken by Fullerton College. This is the second set with Saddleback winning the first set and also winning in this set 14-6. You are watching Fullerton College Volleyball on Hornet Radio. There's been a lot of mistakes on both sides. It just seems like Saddleback is capitalizing on them a lot more than Fullerton is.
Just a lot of mistakes by Fullerton, a lot of errors, and you can't afford to make those mistakes and fall behind a great Saddleback team like this. They are 5-3 this year, 1-0 in conference, and 4-1 on the road this year. So they're good wherever they play.
Amazing road play from them as they try to go back-to-back conference winners. Right now it's looking like they have a decent shot. Fullerton College only has 2 returners from last year, which is the setter, Izzy Hernandez, and the opposite hitter of Angelina Alvarado. Looks like they're having a little players meeting before the serve. Lineups here are for Fullerton College: Angelina Alvarado, Amelia Flores, Emma Orell, Bree Stottmore, Jessica Timmons, and Izzy Hernandez. Stottmore with a hit. Powerful there from Meg Gardner. And for the Saddleback lineups, we have Bryn Craig Crom, the libero, Lulu Utterbeck, Sophia Vienna, Maggie Trulio, Corey Wilcoxon, and Delaney Wilson. That serve is dropped short, received by Timmons, out to Stottmore, gets it over. Quick attack to Delaney Wilson, and just a little bit mistimed, but still able to get a point.
Saddleback already up by 10 early in the second set. Don't want to fall behind too quickly.
It's 16-6, points towards Saddleback. Received by Craig Crom. Out, powerful hit there by Meg Gardner. Going up to an 11-point deficit for Fullerton.
Remember that Fullerton only has eight players today, so they're not switching back and forth like Saddleback is. So all these players, their stamina is being tested here against a really great Saddleback team.
Marla Lopez gets subbed in for Lulu Utterbeck, and that is a service ace there from Corey Wilcoxon.
Just a lot of confusion and miscommunication on Fullerton's part right now.
18-6, Saddleback winning. Received by Flores, back to Orell. Orell hits it out. There have been a lot of mistakes, and a lot of simple mistakes at that. If you can't get a pass, nothing's going to happen in volleyball. And right now it seems like Fullerton can't get a pass.
Looks like Saddleback wants to wrap this set up quickly and go home.
Wilcoxon with the serve, received by Orell. Over and blocked by Timmons. Delaney Wilson tried to get a hit on the overpass, and Jessica Timmons is able to get a block and point, finally stopping the serving run of Wilcoxon.
That's what we want to see from Fullerton in this set. We want to see fight. We want to see them fight back and claw back.
Stottmore to serve. Score is 19-7, Saddleback. Received. Back out to Wilson once again. Received by Orell. That was Stottmore. Beautiful receive. Orell sets it. Stottmore gets the free ball over. Setter dump by Vienna. There's a lot of miscommunication and simple passes that could not get up. Score is 20-7 for Saddleback.
13-point deficit. It's
almost half of what you need to win a set in volleyball. It's going to be a massive challenge to try and come back from this.
Fullerton scored 12 last set.
Olivia wins
turn it around
to serve for Saddleback. Messed up, received by Stoutmore. Orell gets it up, and Flores gets it over. That is out. Little bit of a roll shot there. Powerful dump by Hernandez to the middle. That is Maggie Trulino. Blocked. Hernandez to Stoutmore. Back row. Received. Trulino once again gets it up. Flores to Orell, gets it over. Great rally here. Quick attack, fake. Back set, Stoutmore. Powerful hit. Great play to be able to get it up. Hernandez tries to hit it. Doesn't quite get it, blocked. Alvarado sends the free ball over. And that is a powerful kill from Meg Gardner, adding to her total kill count. Beautiful rally by both sides. 21-7 is the score. Saddleback Bobcats 21, Hornets 7.
Up by 3 times the Hornets score.
Looked like a service error there.
Olivia wins.
Jessica Timmons back to serve. For the lineups, we have Timmons, Stoutmore, Alvarado, Hernandez, Schnockenberg, and Orell. And for Saddleback, we have Meg Gardner, who just hit the ball out. Olivia wins. Maggie Trujillo, Sophie Vienna. That is a net in. Schnockenberg, quick attack, got up. Meg Gardner hits it cross court and in. Beautiful, just on the line.
Olivia wins. She's from she went to high school in Virginia. Super cool to see her here.
And this is Vienna back to serve. Stoutmore, back row attack. Gets it, back corner, beautiful spot, powerful hit from Stoutmore, adding to her kill count and the lead that she has on the rest of the Fullerton College team.
Fullerton into double digits now.
Hernandez back to serve. And that is a tip attempt by Marla Lopez of Saddleback. Doesn't quite get it over. And that is a point to Fullerton College. Scores 22 Bobcats, 11 Hornets. Hernandez serving once again. That is a back attack to Corey Wilcoxon, and the block didn't quite press enough. That ball just falls in between them and the net, point to Saddleback.
Saddleback 2 points away from wrapping up the second set. Hopefully Fullerton can show some fight here.
Serve received by Amelia Flores. Orell barely gets it up, miscommunication there. Vienna to Trejo. Quick attackers received. Back attack to Orell. Received off the net. Just a bit too much on the receive. Couldn't play it out of the net. Point Fullerton College.
It's getting quick fast.
Emma Orell to serve.
Running out of time.
Received. Bad receive. That is an ace by Orell on Olivia Wins.
Fullerton not making it easy.
No, they are showing some fight in this second set. Trying to make a comeback, maybe get some momentum for the third if they can't make a comeback here. Orell serving. Another ace on Olivia Wins. Emma Orell with back-to-back service aces.
She's just not seeing the ball well. A lot of errors since she's came into this game.
Hornets are going to need a lot more of that if they want to win. drops it short. Vienna out to Gardner, who gets a kill. Aurel tries to get it up, doesn't quite get there. Glances off her hands into the floor. And it is now 24-14 set point for Saddleback.
Delaney Wilson coming back into this game. They want to end this set right now.
Craig Crom back to serve. She went on that nice serving run earlier. Received by Flores. Out to Stopmore. Blocked. Saddleback is trying to say no touch, but ref called a block. Received by Aurel. Hernandez to Schnockenberg. Massive block there to end the set. That was Delaney Wilson who blocks the quick from Schnockenberg, and to win the second set 25-14 for Saddleback. Saddleback is now up 2-0 in the sets, entering the third. You are listening to Fullerton College Volleyball on Hornet Radio as the Hornets take on the Saddleback Bobcats. We have starting the third set here.
So in that first set, we saw Fullerton playing. They weren't very cohesive. They started to get better as it went on. We didn't know really what we were seeing from them, but on that Saddleback side, we saw how dominant they were. And then going into that second set, we really got to see the end product from both teams. Fullerton played a little bit better, especially towards the end there with those back-to-back service aces from Emma Aurel, but they had that really long dry spell at the beginning that pretty much had them out from that second set, and they couldn't do anything to claw their way back, even if they tried.
I think that having the coaching staff of a former D1 volleyball player in the assistant coach of Lyle Fresnews, and she also played professional beach, and having some of the head coach, Brian Hughes, former players play professionally in Europe as well, I think that is going to be a huge advantage for Saddleback, and it is shown so far.
Yeah, the resume speaks for itself. A lot of really good players have come through this program, and you see what kind of impact he has on those players, and you see how dangerous that team can be, and you saw them. They won the conference last year, and they're making a big run for it this year.
Yeah, it seems like they were able to take away some of those points we were trying to tell for the Fullerton team, were the less errors. We saw very few in that second set from Saddleback. There were a couple here and there, but for the most part, especially towards the beginning when they needed to take that lead, they played almost perfect volleyball.
It seems like Saddleback always starts very, very hard, very, very fast, and gets the lead that just seems impossible for Fullerton to come back from. Got to be demoralizing for those Fullerton players.
You don't want to fall behind a team as good as Saddleback, and you want to make sure they make the mistakes and capitalize on their mistakes. And a team like Saddleback will capitalize on your mistakes, and they'll make it hurt. And once you're behind, really, and there's no coming back.
And I think the real game changer for Saddleback, and we saw even just at the end of that second set, was Delaney Wilson. When she isn't in, they look like a completely different team, and Fullerton was able to score way more when she was on the bench.
Oh, absolutely. Having the threat of her going up there to essentially stonewall Fullerton's hitters, as well as the threat of quick attacks from Wilson. Huge game changer for Saddleback. Here we are, starting the third set.
This is Hornet Volleyball on Hornet Radio. I'm Ari Nakshon, back again with Caleb Ramos, and on my other side I have Elias Avila. The set score is 2-0. Fullerton is down, and the starting lineup for Saddleback is Lulu Utterback, Sophie Vienna, Bryn Craig Crum, Corey Wilcoxon, Maggie Trujillo, And finally, Meg Gardner. For Fullerton, the starting lineup is Izzy Hernandez, Emma Orell, Michaela Schnockenberg, Amelia Flores, Angelina Alvarado, and Bree Stottmore.
It looked like Fullerton College was saved there for a quick second. The ball went up and hit the basketball hoops, saving the ball from going flying, but that quick attack there from Maggie Torrejo was just too much.
The score 1-0, Saddleback already taking the lead in this third set. Serve there from Meg Gardner. Craig Crum able to keep that one up. Izzy Hernandez gets it back into play, and Orell hits it just softly over. Attempt there from Utterback, but she isn't able to get it over as it's blocked by Orell and Schnackenberg, and that's a mistake there from Alvarado, and that's a point for Saddleback.
Just a lot of miscommunication going on with the Hornets volleyball team right now. They're falling behind quickly in this third set.
That was a massive block there from Orell, who has a 5-inch height difference there. Just miscommunication on Fullerton's end.
Gardner hits it barely over the net. Hit there from Utterbeck, but Orell is able to block it. Not blocked there from Schnackenberg, but Stottmore gets it up and then hits it back over. Gardner keeps it in, but it goes over to the Fullerton side, and Hernandez with the fake again. And that's going to be right into the net, as Will Coxon is just not able to get that one up.
Emma Orell with 2 straight back-to-back monster blocks on plays. She has been amazing so far in this third set, excuse me.
What we like to see is Izzy Hernandez with the serve.
And she hits it just over, and that'll be another Saddleback point as they take the lead 3-1. Orell being able to make such big blocks at only 5'7", where the people on the other side of the line are 6 foot, 6'1". Very impressive to be able to get the ball without it just skimming her hands.
Oh, absolutely, especially when it's as powerful of a hit as Utterback is.
And there you go, Delaney Wilson hits it right to Amelia Flores, who isn't able to get low enough to push that ball up for her teammates.
Schnockenberg looked a little late on the block. Maybe if she was a bit quicker, it would have been easier for Flores to receive. But just a little bit late, hard to deal with quicks.
Craig Crum with the ball. We saw a lot of her in the past 2 sets. Stottmore with a powerful hit, but it looks like Saddleback is able to keep it in. But it looks like it won't count, as there's a lot of confusion on their side, and Fullerton gets the point.
It looked like Utterbeck went under trying to save the ball. You can't cross the line in volleyball. A lot of confusion on what happened from Saddleback, but point to Fullerton.
Delaney Wilson's back in this game.
Will Coxon hits it hard, but Fullerton keeps it in. This time it's for Utterback, as Hernandez keeps it in. And Orell able to hit it over, but it goes very wide for the Saddleback point.
This has been beautiful play from Fullerton so far. They are down 5-2, but it has been great defense so far, getting up hits that they weren't able to in the past 2 sets and blocking Utterbeck, which they also weren't able to do in the last 2 sets.
Bobcats showing their dominance, and they make a substitution as Utterbeck comes out, and now we have Nadia Madani, who hasn't even been in this game. She'll be serving the first time. And Stottmore hits it out, and the Bobcats get a point.
Looks like she just got a little bit behind it. Wasn't able to fully snap her wrist to be able to get it in.
Madani serving once again. Powerful hit to the left side. Stottmore hits it up, just over. That's going to be a net hit there. Will Coxon wasn't able to get the ball over without hitting the net, and that's going to be a point for Fullerton.
Jessica Timmons in for Schnockenberg as Flores goes back to serve.
Now the score is 3-6. Bobcats up.
you can't forget about the importance that Amelia Flores has played in this game. She's all over the court diving and setting balls.
Yeah, and she serves it there. She isn't able to get to that one as it flies into the stands for a Bobcats point.
It was a great hit. Just like you said, Flores just wasn't able to get there quite fast enough, and glances off her hands, goes flying into the stands.
Madani gives this one to Will Coxon. Powerful hit down the middle. Stottmore keeps it up, and now Arel hits it over. Will Coxon hits it. Wilson tries to get it up. Hernandez saves it, and it's blocked by Wilson for another Bobcats point.
That was an amazing effort by Izzy Hernandez there to get the ball up into a point where it's playable. Alvarado tries to send a free ball over. Wilson is just too tall.
Yeah, Fullerton really only has Schnockenberg to match her, and when she's on the bench taking a rest, they have no one to match that height. Will Coxon serves that one into the net as Fullerton gets this one back.
As you were saying, having Schnockenberg to match Wilson is huge, and right now it just doesn't seem like the rotations match up.
But even without Schnockenberg, Wilson is dominating. Alvarado hits it up. Timmons hits it over. That'll be a little bit of trickery there from Wilson, but Fullerton are able to keep it in, and she hits it right into no man's land and gets the Bobcats another point.
It looked like either she went a little bit early on her approach, or the set was a little bit high. She was able to barely tip it over with her left hand, but when Fullerton sent it back over, it wasn't high enough, and she just slams it right back into the court.
And Trujillo is out, and Parente coming in for her. We'll also see Wilson, who comes off, and we'll see Tajik given another chance to serve. A lot of rotations here from Saddleback. They can afford to do so. Timmons hits it over. Adani sets it. Gardner hits it, but Stottmore keeps it in. Gardner tries it again, but Arel is able to get to that one. Stottmore with a powerful hit into the back left corner. She slots it for a Fullerton Hornets point.
That was a great hit from Stottmore, but you also can't discount the hit from Sofia Vienna, it looks like. Or, sorry, that was Devin Parenti on the cut shot.
Score is 9-5. Bobcats up. Stottmore will be serving. We haven't seen much of that this game. Little miscommunication there from Stottmore and Alvarado on the kill. That'll be another point for the Bobcats.
Right now it looks like they have changed setters. It's not Vienna setting anymore. It's Madani, I think, as that was a nice kill attempt by Vienna.
And now Madani is coming out, and we're going to see Utterbeck back in. She took a little break, but looks like she's ready to keep playing. Hernandez sets it up for Arel. Arel gets it right to Will Coxon. She has no problem with that. And a little too hard there from Utterbeck as the Hornets get a point.
It looked like she had to reach backwards a bit on that one. And having to reach backwards in volleyball is never a recipe for success, as you just saw, sending it out.
Another serve change here from the Hornets as Timmons sends it to the right side. Full body twist there as Sophie Vienna was able to set that for an almost unhittable return for Fullerton and another Bobcats point.
This is a really good back and forth. Fullerton's keeping a lot closer this set than the last two sets. They're showing a lot more fight this one. They don't want to go home.
That was a beautiful set from Vienna on that last play, getting it to where there was no block and just slams it.
Saddleback is also resting a couple of their star players right now, giving them a little bit of time to close this one out. So I guess we'll see how that goes. Hernandez keeps it in. This time it'll be Vienna who hits it up, and Will Coxon hits it right into the net for another Hornets point, and they get the ball back for serve.
That's one of the first times I've ever seen Izzy Hernandez's fake set blocked. It looked like Saddleback might have been anticipating it and got it, but Fullerton able to recover and get the point anyways.
Has to be something Brian Hughes and his players talked about during the break between second and third set.
And Hernandez with the service ace. Fullerton gets within 3.
That was a great float serve. No spin on the ball means it moves in the air. It's very, very hard to receive, as we just saw. Great effort by Vienna to try and get it up, but wasn't quite fast enough.
And we'll see if Hernandez can double it. Doesn't look like she can as Utterback gets it up. And it's sent all the way back, but now Hernandez serves it back. That'll be Utterback once more. And Hernandez sets it up for Alvarado. This time it'll be Wilcoxon, but Schnockenberg was able to block that one. But she couldn't get to the second hit, and Wilcoxon gets the point for the Bobcats.
You can't overlook that block by Schnockenberg there. That was really huge.
It was great rally by both sides. It looks like Emma Orell might be in a slight bit of pain. It looked like she slipped on that last play, grabbing at her calf.
Yeah, and that block from Schnockenberg was good, but just not enough as Wilcoxon was able to get back on that double. And now we'll see Devin Parente serve.
Glances off of her hand, sends it fully under the net. You don't see that much, especially at this level.
And now they're only up 3 Saddleback, 12-9, as Fullerton get another chance to try and claw their way back into this third set.
Saddleback doesn't want to give Fullerton too much hope. They're bringing back Delaney Wilson.
They'll also be bringing Craig Crom back in. That'll be Sarah Tajik, who goes to the bench, along with
Emma Orell goes to serve, but the ref didn't blow his whistle yet.
that was Devin Parente who had went to the bench. Orell slams it down middle. Utterback barely able to get that one over. And now it's Stottmore who gets blocked out for a Fullerton point.
That was a good block attempt. They just didn't quite press enough. Glanced off their hands, sending it out.
And we're seeing how Fullerton is really taking advantage of this. How they have a couple starters sitting. Saddleback was barely able to get that one over. But all the momentum is in Fullerton's favor right now.
That might have just changed. Beautiful hit from Utterbeck.
A bit of commentator's curse. She's able to get the kill right as I say that it's going Fullerton's way. Gets Saddleback's lead back to 3.
When it's that powerful of a hit, it's just demoralizing, knowing that there's just absolutely nothing you can do about it.
And Utterback's reward is going back to get some more rest as Madani comes in for the serve. And Stottmore gets blocked out once again. It's another Fullerton point.
Timmons now in for Schnockenberg.
You can see assistant coach Haley Flanagan and Michaela Schnockenberg discussing.
Flores with the serve. Oh, and that's hit pretty wide there, and that'll be Hornets' point as they are now within 1.
I think that ball dropped more than Craig Crom thought it was going to. She had to lunge out last second, messed up the receive, messed up the whole play for Saddleback.
A lot better third set from Fullerton right here.
And that's another mistake, and it's all tied up at 13.
Fullerton College putting up a much better fight in this third set. If you remember, the score of the first set was 25-12. They've already matched that total score, and it's tied.
Flores keeps it up, and Hernandez sets it for Alvarado, who gets blocked, but it falls right in for a Hornets point.
And I want to say for maybe the first time today, the Hornets have a lead.
Yeah,
First time this set, definitely.
We had seen them taking leads early into the sets, but nothing deep into the set this late. It had been 1-0, 2-0, but never anything where it's 14-13. And now it's tied up again.
That was Delaney Wilson once again making her mark on this match. Puts it right onto the 10-foot line into the corner. Not much you can do about that, even if you were there.
Fullerton's back's up against the wall right here in this third set. They don't want this game to end, or this match.
Will Coxon serving. And Timmons able to just get it over the blockers with a little bit of finesse for a Hornets point.
It looked like maybe a quick attempt from a bit far than you'd usually see a quick attempt from, but it worked out well. Timmons able to get it over the block right to where nobody is.
And the Hornets with only 2 subs and down 2 sets, they're playing like they've got nothing to lose. And it's showing in the score.
And I don't think they have anything to lose right now, especially in this third set.
It's all tied up, 15s. We're seeing Wilson coming back out, and now we'll have new server, Sarah Tajik again.
Maggie Trujillo is back too.
It seems like they're subbing in Tajik for Wilson whenever Wilson goes into the back row.
And that's going to be out. Tajik hits it just too far past the line, and the Hornets are up 1.
Really good back and forth here.
Fullerton's bench seems very, very excited as Stoppmore goes back to serve.
We'd only seen her serve a couple times this whole match. She sends it just barely over the net with a very strong hit. Alvarado's able to keep it in, and Hernandez gets it to Timmons. And it's going to be a Hornets point.
I think they're calling a net on Maggie Trujillo there.
The Hornets getting a big lead here late in the third set.
Stoppmore once again with the serve. Hits it over to Craig Crum. And it's blocked out for a Bobcats point. Orell and Timmons aren't able to get that one over.
Looked like they weren't quite in sync there. Little bit of a gap, and it glances off of Timmons' hands and goes out.
Fullerton up 17-16. Finally able to hold on to a lead for a bit. And now serving will be Sophie Vienna. And that's just too good. And it's hit all the way back to the Fullerton bench. And it's all tied up.
Coming into today, Vienna has had a total of 318 total assists in this 8-game season so far. That is amazing numbers there.
Yeah, she is averaging 9.94 assists per set. And that's slotted from Orell right over Vienna's head. She can't get to that one, and the Hornets reclaim their lead, 18-17.
I'm not quite sure she even tried to go for that one. It looked like she just saw the ball coming at her head and ducked.
And sometimes in a situation like that, there isn't much you can do. Timmons with the serve for Fullerton. Hits it over to the right side. That'll be Vienna. And now Timmons hits it right into the net with a little miscommunication with Orell. And it's all tied up once more.
Amelia Flores back in this game.
Even if Timmons was able to get it over, it might have been a back row attack. She looked like she was in front of the line. She just miscommunication, saw ball, went for the ball.
Yeah, Timmons hit it over, and she's back on the bench, and now Amelia Flores will be her replacement. Stoppmore can't get to that good hit from Will Coxon, and for the first time in a little bit now, we have a lead for the Bobcats.
Stoppmore did have an amazing serve receive, though, getting it right to where the setter was.
Something key for Fullerton right here is you see a lot less errors on their part and a lot more errors on Saddleback's part. They're having them make the errors, and they're limiting the errors themselves.
Gardner with the error as she hits it right into the net, and I think it has to do with them going deeper into their bench, where Fullerton is staying with their main core.
Fullerton doesn't have much besides their main core today.
And while Coxon isn't able to hit it for anyone to get to the ball, and the Hornets are up 20-19.
Once again, a very excited bench on Fullerton's side.
It's the first time today the Hornets are in the 20.
Yeah, 20 points for the Hornets as Hernandez serves. That's going to be Utterbeck with the hit right to Stottmore, who's able to get that one up, and Schnackenberg blocks it for a Fullerton point.
What a beautiful receive. That was a absolutely filthy hit there from Utterbeck.
And now the first timeout from Saddleback, as the score is 21-19. The Hornets are up, but Saddleback is up 2-0. You are watching Fullerton College Volleyball on Hornet Radio.
The Hornets are making a lot less errors this set, and it's showing on the scoreboard. First time that, like Elias said, first time into 20, and they have a lead as well.
We're starting to see a lot more cohesion from their players, and it really does have to do with the fact that it's been almost the same group playing the whole game. No one has really subbed out, so the girls are really able to communicate with each other. And we're not seeing that a lot from Saddleback, as the girls are constantly switching from the bench or switching positions on the floor.
And Saddleback, like we've said, is going deeper into their bench, and it is obviously making a difference. And it seems like Fullerton College is fighting for essentially pride of wanting to win a set.
And we're back from the timeout taken by Saddleback. Score is still the same, 21-19. The Hornets are up, but the Bobcats up 2-0. Some new lineups for you. Fullerton serving will be Hernandez, along with Stottmore, Flores, Alvarado, Schnackenberg, and Arell. And then for Saddleback, it'll be Utterback, Trujillo, Vienna, Craig Crum, Gardner, and finally, Wilson.
Stottmore has had some amazing receives in this set, as well as digs. They're getting the ball up that they weren't getting up before.
And that was a good point there from Saddleback, as they are trying to climb their way back into this one, and now it is all tied up as Flores isn't able to get low enough for that one.
Wilson heads back to the front row. Beautiful quick and just in time for Saddleback, as it is coming down to crunch time in this third set. They want their best players up front, and that is what they have now.
Yeah, you can tell they want to win this one as all the starters are back in. Craig hits it over, and Arell hits it right into no man's land as Saddleback takes their lead.
Looks like a bit of frustration there from Arell as she claps her hands a couple of times and heads to the bench for a timeout.
A quick couple points there for Saddleback, and Fullerton forced to take a timeout as they don't want to lose this one. The score is 22-21. The Bobcats are up. You are watching Fullerton College Volleyball on Hornet Radio.
It seems like the ball that wasn't going up originally for Fullerton College is now going up, as powerful hits from Saddleback are now not always hitting the floor like they were before.
Yeah, just you're seeing coming out of that last timeout, you saw a lot more aggressiveness coming from Saddleback. They want this game to end. They don't want to play another set.
Yeah, Fullerton coming into this off of 2 straight losses in the conference. They had played Riverside and lost, and they had played Cypress last week when we had seen them and commentated and they lost. Getting into the pit where you're 0-3 to start the season is really rough, and that is not where they want to be at the end of the night. We are back from this timeout. Score still the same, 22-21. Bobcats leading. Lineups unchanged. Craig Crum will be serving for the Bobcats. Arell able to get the ball, and it's hers to hit over. but it's kept in. And that's Wilson who gets blocked by Schnackenberg. And she's going to go for it again, and this time is able to get it over, but Flores saves it, and Stoppmore hits it. And it's going to be a point for the Bobcats as they're within 2 of taking this match.
Momentum seems to be going Saddleback's way. It was going the Hornets' way all throughout this third set, and it seems like they have taken it back.
Craig Crum, their star server. Hernandez gets it to Alvarado on the far side, who's blocked, but she's able to keep it in play. And this time it's Orel with the fake, and she gets the point for the Hornets.
Craig Crum was able to get it up, but not enough, just barely off the ground, and nothing you could do about it. Beautiful spot from Orel.
Orel will be serving, and the score is 22-23. Hornets are down 1. Shoots it deep, but is kept in. And this time Utterbeck will hit the ball back to her. Oh, and it's going to be blocked onto the face, but that is 4 hits for Hornets. And now it is match point.
It looked like they might have had a chance there to get the ball over, just wasn't able to get it up enough to get it playable. Match point for Saddleback as we have Utterbeck serving.
We've seen her with a lot of those kills. She's maybe been trying to get a couple service aces here, and maybe this will be the one that she needs. A little bit more of that commentator's curse as she hits it right into the net for a Hornets point.
Jinxing everybody today.
Within 1 now, the Hornets. Still match point.
They cannot follow up that service error with another one here from Flores. They need this point if they want to stay in this game.
And she hits it over, so they're safe in that aspect. This time it'll be Wilcoxon who powers it out, and that is a wrap here at the Hornets Nest. Saddleback takes it 3-0. The team records now are going to be 2-7 for your Hornets. Saddleback will be 6-3. I'm Ari Nakshon, joined by Caleb Ramos and Elias Avila. You have been watching Fullerton College Volleyball on Hornet Radio.